Hey everyone, it's Caslow and welcome back to my channel. It's time for the first segment of my RPG Club playthrough of Mass Effect. Now I've been an avid listener of the podcast RPG The After Years and its predecessor RPG Golden Years. The podcast focuses on RPG reviews and news. Last year they began a new community event known as the RPG Club. Imagine a book club, but for RPGs. They break up a community-chosen RPG into digestible chunks, usually about 5 hours, and discuss those segments every 2 weeks like a book club. If you want to check out RPG The After Years, you can find a link in the description below to their podcast. I've not had an opportunity to participate in previous RPG clubs because the games chosen were all games I had recently already beat. But this time, the community chose the 2007 Bioware Sci-Fi RPG Mass Effect. I've only ever played the first hour of Mass Effect and had trouble getting hooked, so maybe with the push of the RPG Club, I'll finally figure out what all the hype is about. One of my issues with Mass Effect when I first played it is the combat. Most simply, Mass Effect is a cover-based third-person shooter, a genre I struggle to enjoy. I've always been more of a fan of first-person shooters and using cover only when needed to recover. I feel first-person shooters provide a better gun feel, and I tend to be more accurate with my shots compared to third-person shooters. Character growth in the game is through a class-based skill point system. The 6 starting classes balance 3 different elements: combat, biotics, and tech. Combat and tech are pretty self-explanatory, but biotics could be described more traditionally as magic, just in a sci-fi setting. These elements determine what skills you will have access to, what type of armor you can wear, and your proficiency with certain weapons. Mass Effect begins with a pretty thorough character creator to create your main character, Commander Shepard. After completing character creation, you have a few choices about who your character is, including his or her starting class. The game opens with a narration setting up the universe. Approximately 120 years in the future, humankind discovers the remains of an ancient spacefaring civilization on Mars called the Protheans. Through analyzing these remains, humankind is able to jumpstart their own technology and become a player on the intergalactic stage. You're on a mission to Eden Prime, a human colony that has just discovered another Prothean relic. You and your team are to recover the relic and return it to the Citadel, the space capital for the governing body of the galaxy. You're accompanied on your mission by 2 other soldiers and an alien named Nihilus, Spectre. Spectres are agents of the Citadel Council with broad authority to protect the galaxy. As you approach Eden Prime, you discover the planet is under attack by an enemy known as the Geth. About halfway through your mission, you find that Nihilus has been murdered by another Spectre named Saren, who is also looking for the alien relic. Eventually you recover the relic, and Shepard is granted an apocalyptic vision before the relic self-destructs. Failing to secure the relic, you return to the Citadel, intent on informing the Council that Saren has betrayed them. However, they refuse to believe you without proof. This sets you on a detective mission to find the proof of Saren's betrayal. You eventually hear word of a woman named Tali, who seems to have evidence of Saren's betrayal. Tali is being held captive by a nightclub owner named Fist, who is working for Saren. After recruiting a few new crew members and rescuing Tali, Shepard presents Tali's evidence to the Council. The Council then appoints Shepard as the first human Spectre and issues him with a mission to find and stop Saren. And that's where the first segment of this RPG club ends. Turning to my playthrough, I chose Vanguard, which balances biotics and combat, since I normally try to balance physical power with magical ability in RPGs. In this section of the RPG Club, I didn't get much of an opportunity to use the Vanguard's biotic powers, so I can't comment on how they feel to use. Turning to the story, this section is very much just setup. You're being introduced to characters, galaxy politics, and the game's controls. I'm not quite gripped with our current mission, as it seems like a pretty standard stop the villain from destroying everything plot. Moreover, I'm quickly reminded of how I don't find Bioware graphics attractive, at least for human characters. I think the graphics and design of alien species look great, but the humans just look ugly for some reason that I can't quite put my finger on. I will say, and this likely will have no bearing on the game at all, but I'm very intrigued by a race of creatures you come across in the Citadel known as the Keepers. These are bug-like creatures who are free to roam the Citadel without any restrictions. The game says that they're only used for maintenance of Citadel systems, but I don't know. Just don't trust them for some reason. I think it's their freedom to go anywhere without anyone paying them any mind. Part of me wonders if Saren may be using them to get info he shouldn't normally have. I guess time will tell. Oh, and just a nitpick on the way out, I couldn't locate a run button in the controls, which made traversing the Citadel a real chore and unenjoyable. But that's it for this segment of the RPG Club. Check back in 2 weeks to see how our hunt for Saren goes. You can see that video as soon as it's released by hitting that subscribe button. Additionally, if you want to check me out elsewhere, I have links to my Twitch, Twitter, and Discord in the description below. See you all next time!